Hello, third graders, and welcome to our math skill for today. We're going to work on repeated addition, and you're going to be on page 37 in your Envision book. Let's go ahead and begin.
How can you divide using repeated subtraction? Think about this question during the lesson. June has 10 strawberries to serve to her guests. If each guest eats 2 strawberries, how many guests can June serve? Look at the bar diagram that shows the division. What part shows the total number of strawberries?
Does the bottom part or the top part show the total amount of strawberries? Circle on your page which shows the total amount of strawberries.
The line above the bar shows the total. There are a total of 10 strawberries. Why is there a 2 in the box?
2 strawberries for each guest. That is how we're passing them out. We're passing them out by twos.
It shows that each guest will get 2 strawberries. What does the arrow stand for?
The arrow can show you how many you need to take away until you get to 0, until you get rid of all 10 strawberries.
The arrow stands for the number of guests who will get 2 strawberries. How can you use subtraction to solve this problem?
Think about what we did in our problem solving. How would you use subtraction? And how would you find out how many guests would get strawberries?
You can use repeated subtraction to find how many groups of 2 are in 10. How do you know when to stop subtracting?
Take a guess of what we did in our problem solving. When do you stop? When you run out of all of them.
You stop when you get to 0. Then you know that there are no more groups of 2 to subtract.
Let's go ahead and try it out. So we have 10 strawberries over here on the side, and I am going to get rid of them by twos. So there I got rid of 2. I'm going to count how many groups of 2 I do. First one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of 2 equals 10 total strawberries. I had 10 strawberries. I gave them away in groups of 2, and 5 people got them.
You can subtract 2 5 times. There are 5 groups of 2 in 10. There are no strawberries left. June can serve 5 guests. How can division be used to solve this problem?
You can write a division equation to find the number of groups.
The most important thing about a division equation is that your total is first. Your total is first.
10 divided by 2 equals what number?
How many guests did we give?
What do the parts in the division equation stand for? 10 is the total number of strawberries. 2 is the number of strawberries each guest gets. The question mark is the number of guests who get the strawberries. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. June can serve 5 guests.
If you remember when we talked about multiplication, the answer to a multiplication problem is called a product. The answer to a division problem is called a quotient. Quotient. So when you hear quotient, that means the answer to a division problem. Let's go ahead and practice together. We are going to go to page number 39 in your book, or you can work while you are on your class kick page. Let's start at the top. Show how you can use repeated subtraction to find how many groups of 4 there are in 20. Then write a division equation to solve the problem. We're going to write it out on the side using repeated subtraction. Let me change my color here. So when I'm using repeated subtraction, I'm going to start with my total, which is 20, and I'm going to make groups of 4. So 20 minus 4 equals 16. Then my new total is I have 16 left, but I'm going to make another group of 4, and that equals 12. Starting with 12, I'm going to take away 4. And that will equal 8. Starting with 8, take away a group of 4 equals 4. Starting with 4, getting rid of 4 equals 0. Now I can count how many times I had to subtract 4 to get to 0. I started with 20. I took away 4, and I can count how many times. I took away 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. My division problem starts with the total divided by the number I'm taking away, and that equals the amount of times I took it away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My quotient is 5. Go ahead and write out both parts inside your book. Let's try a word problem using division. Number 2. The bell choir has 16 gloves. So bell choirs, they use normal bells, and they make them, normally they play around Christmas time, and they have special gloves that they use. There are 2 gloves in each pair. They need one for each hand. How many pairs of gloves are there? How many people would get the gloves? Same thing. I'm going to start with 16. Actually, let me circle my important numbers. 16 and 2, and my key word here is each. All right, so I have 16, and I'm going to take away 2. That equals 14. Starting with 14, take away 2. That equals 12. Starting with 12, take away 2. That equals 10. Starting with 10, take away 2. That equals 8. Starting with 8, take away 2. That equals 6. Starting with 6, take away 2, equals 4. 4, take away 2 equals 2. 2 minus 2 equals 0. I made it to 0. You can see that my starting number, my total that I started with, amount of gloves, were 16. And I had to give them away in groups of 2. And I gave it away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So I started with 16. Oh, I don't think I have my division symbol in here. I started with 16. I divided them into groups of 2, and I gave it away to 8 people. Let's try number 3. 15. Ruth has 15 dog treats. She gives each of her dogs 3 treats. We're going to do repeated subtraction again on the side, starting with 15. And I'm taking away 3 each time I give one away to her dog. So I give one away to her first dog. It leaves me with 12. And I have 12. I'm going to give 3 to the next dog. That's going to leave me with 9. I have 9. And I'll give another dog 3. That leaves me with 6. Now I only have 6 left. And I'm going to get rid of 3 more. And that leaves me with 3. And I only have 3 left. And I give that to the last dog. And that leaves me with 0 treats left over. So my starting problem, I can write out before I even begin repeated subtraction, my total amount divided by 3. And I can see that in my subtraction, my total amount, and I subtracted by 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I subtracted by 3 5 times. So 15 divided by 3 equals 5. In the problems below, they help structure your subtraction problems. In number 6 and number 7, you're going to have to write it out on the side like I did over here. Please start with your division problem. That will help you keep going. So for instance, this first one, Shirley bought 30 markers that came in packages of 5 markers each. I can start with 30, my total, and divide it into 5. And then on the side, I'll write the repeated subtraction and how many times I subtracted. Once you're complete with your assignments, you are done with math for today.